Good morning and welcome back to Hammond's Upholstery. As you can see, my colleague Taco has come in the workshop today. I managed to get him out of the van for a little bit. He's desperate to get back in there though. Anyway, so we've got plenty to be going on with the workshop. Unfortunately, we seem to be waiting on fabrics on a lot of stuff. There he goes. He wants to go back in the van. Yeah. No, you're not going in the van. You can keep me company for a bit. Honestly, he's so unsociable. We're waiting on fabrics for a lot of stuff. I'm doing as much as I can on jobs for customers, so it's not too much. Well, minimising the delay as best I can. The leather sofa that you may have seen me finish off in the last video is currently still in the workshop, but I should be delivering that tomorrow morning, and there will be some pictures posted of it in the customer's house on here, and maybe a little video if the customer allows. But anyway, so let's take a look around and see what's going on. Right, so 3 bar stools there, still waiting to be collected. Strangely enough, it's the guy that we did the church chair for that we waited for ages for him to collect. And there you go. We have this lounge chair that did have a loose cover on it. The customer wants this recovered with a fixed cover. Other than the grubby state of it, it's actually in really good condition. That chair is going to be lovely when it's done. We have a little stool top there that's waiting to be collected. And then back to over here, we have this balloon back nursing chair, but that's going to be done further down the line. We have these window seat cushions. We've cut what we can with the fabric, but we're short on the fabric, so I'm waiting for that to come in. As soon as that's in, I need to get them done and back to the customer as soon as possible. We have the bright coloured bar stools. Again, they're stripped and ready for templating, but I'm waiting for the fabric. We have a cushion that is, unfortunately, the customer's dog decided to try and bury their bone in it. Look at the state of that. So we've got to make this in its entirety. As you see, it's got my pet hate, these bed pocket springs in there. We, needless to say, won't be doing it the same way. We're going to be using a solid piece of foam, so that'll be much better. As you can see underneath here is the sofa I'm hoping to deliver back tomorrow. We have some cushions that I've made the fills for. The covers are with the machinist, so hopefully they'll be back in the next couple of days and they can get dispatched. We have a reclining chair that is next on my list to try and get done and out of the way. Let's see if I can get it to work. There you go. It's more of a leg lift rather than a full-on recliner, I think. The back needs you to lean against it, unlike the electric ones where the back will recline off the electric motor. So that is my next job whilst I'm waiting for other things I can get on with ripping that up. But first off, I have a stool order that I would like to get out the door today. This you can see is in mustard vinyl. You've seen me make stools before. There's one of the, I think the very first video shows you making stools, so I don't need to video that. You can go back and have a look at that if you wish. So I need to get on. And it looks like Taco wants to go back in the van. So, like I say, I'm going to crack on with the stool, and hopefully we'll be able to post you some video on the reclining chair. But it's going to be a bit hit and miss because I need to get on with stuff as and when the fabrics come in the door, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be delivering this sofa back. So may not get a video this week because there's nothing really finished to get back. So this may be a late video, or this will be the beginning of a full video for next week if I have content. So yes, I hope that makes sense. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot to us, and I'll keep putting the content out there. So let's crack on. We're getting these stalls done, and then I can get on with this recliner. Back in a minute. Right, so we have it in its main parts. So we have the leg lift portion here. This is what goes underneath your calves. Here's the action. It's a very simple action, but it has got a broken caster that I need to try and source a replacement for. Probably end up having to replace all four. Here's the underside of the base. Considering the age, it's done very well. By the time it's had a new canvas and so on, cushion on it, that'll be ready to rock and roll. It was a little bit awkward to get apart, getting the arm out, and then here's the back with its clips on the side. So there you go. A little bit, it's dismantled. That took a little bit of time to get it apart. So now I can start unpicking it, and then hopefully reupholstering it as soon as possible. I'm expecting delivery any minute now, so the workshop's going to get very full of cushions, I think. So I'm going to start off by stripping the leg lift, try and keep it as large a piece as possible, because I'm going to run out of space very soon. Tacker's gone back in the van as normal, so I'm going to have a cup of tea and a snack, and then crack on with ripping this up. Right, so that's this recliner well on its way. I've ripped it up as much as I want to at this point, because bearing in mind I don't have templates for anything, so I've got to unpick the seat and the back, etc., to make templates from it, to cut the fabric and then sew it back up. So I don't like to unpick everything until I'm due to start it, otherwise I'll forget where everything goes. Another good point is I get asked, why don't I get somebody in to rip up? I do certain items, but things like this, where if I had somebody else rip it up, and then when I came to pick it up, I wouldn't necessarily know how it goes back together by looking at the frame to get it to the same finish or style that it was originally. And asking somebody to remember all that and transfer that information to myself is time consuming and difficult, and they're not always going to remember this if they're not upholsterers. So let's spin you around and explain to you where we've got to. It's taken me approximately 3 hours to get to this position with the chair, so let's have a look. Right, so there's the base. That's stripped back as far as I want to go. There's nothing wrong with the springs. The foam's okay, so we're good to go with that base. But there was a lot of work to get it to that point. This is one of the inside arms. This is what I refer to as the inside arm. This is one of the inside arms that I'm keeping for a template. There. Then we have the seat cushion. So this will have to be made to go back on the chair. So, like I said, I don't like to jump the gun and unpick all this. I'll unpick it as I get to it, and I'll do the seat cushion, unpick it, and I know where I'm going with it. It's going to need a new fill in it as well. There's the facings. These are just cardboard facings with panel fasteners on them. I may or may not take the cover off these, because I think if I try and take the cover off, I'm just going to damage that facing. So I may have to go over the top of that fabric on the facing. And then we get the inside back, which was buttoned. Look at the colour difference there. There you go. So I've got to make this cushion and put it back on the inside back. So again, that's as far as I want to go with that until I actually start cutting and sewing it. And here's the inside back. There you go. Let me put that over on the cutting table and maybe I'll see it a bit better. And that's the inside back. So I've got a couple of photos that get posted of key points so I remember how things go back together. I'm going to replace these webs because they're just not doing a lot there, so we'll replace them. And that's the action, and underneath there is the kick lift position, but there you go. And there you go. That's about the only thing we found in this particular chair. An old red comb and an interesting pen. I'll show you that. Yeah, Shanghai Hotel, Bangkok. Interesting pen. Come letter opener. I'll go back to the customer. Maybe somewhere they visited. So that's about all the interesting stuff that we find in it. So my next point is to go and walk the dog, have a cup of tea, and then I shall get on with upholstering the base. Get this upholstered and then on with the cushion. So I'll get the cushion done once that's done, and then the back, as it's a separate entity, I'll upholster the back and then the cushion on the back, the kick lift, hopefully put it back together, but I do need to source some casters still. So there you go. So 3 hours so far into this. So it's time consuming, but there you go. That's what it is when we're doing this week other stuff. So we'll be back soon. Well, after lunch, and I'll walk the dog, and I'll be getting on with the base, like I say. Hello. Well, it's turned chilly here, if you can't tell because of the woolly hat and the coats on. We've got snow outside, but there you go. So carry on regardless. Keep moving and stay warm. As you can just see over my shoulder, I made a little bit of progress on this reclining chair. Excuse me. The arms are now on it, and I'm on with the cushion. I need to get that done. The cover is cut for the cushion. It's a bit of a weird one, but it is cut, and hopefully that goes together. We're going to do it with the grey foam that you can see underneath it. But unfortunately, I think this is going to be about it for this week's recording. It's been a bit of one of those weeks where I've seemed to have achieved nothing. But I'm still waiting on fabrics. Some cushions have gone out to customers. I've managed to do a little bit on this. We've had some stall orders which have been rattling through and getting out to the customers. You don't really need to see me doing the stall orders. You've seen them done plenty of time. So all it leaves me to do is say hopefully the next video I have a bit more upholstery content, but I hope this is what goes on in the workshop, and this is what these videos are about, to see what's going on in the workshop. He wants to go in the van. I'm going to, as normal, put him in the van. But in the meantime, like I say, these videos are mainly to show you what goes on in the workshop here. And hopefully you enjoy the content and keeping up to date with us, and we'll keep putting the content out there. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll be back to you soon with a little bit more progress on this recliner, which I better do. The customer would like their furniture back. So in the meantime, thanks again for watching, and cheerio. Bye bye.